James here with Rogue Duelist Trade. In partnership with Pro Play Games, we have started the very first YuGiOh Investments Patreon. On this Patreon, you'll have access to near wholesale rates on Yu-Gi-Oh product, as well as some key advice and information on the newest releases. Get distribution-like connections on the newest product as low as $649 per case. Not to mention some exclusive perks, including Q&As and product ratio videos on release. No matter which tier, our goal is to help you make a successful side business out of Yu-Gi-Oh. Don't wait, spots are limited. Check out our Patreon today in the link below. I'll see you there.
What is up, guys? Live here at Pro Play Games with Ruben. We've seen you on the channel before. Didn't you play online Yu-Gi-Oh, win a lot of money? Here playing real Yu-Gi-Oh, winning some real Megatons. We had a Megaton case tournament this week. We had a 2-case last week. What'd you play and why?
I obviously played Sky Dragon. No, I'm just kidding. Block Dragon, go Burr. The easiest way to put it. So
let's check it out.
It's very simple. 3 Researcher, 3 Seeker, 3 Analyzer. These are like, obviously you're going to play 9 of them. People don't understand the role of them. They all like serve as like pseudo starters / extenders, where if they resolve, they are full combo, and then you can draw them in combination with each other, and either one of them's an extender or they're both extenders. Like going second drawing Analyzer Seeker is like the dream, because off of 2 cards you have 4 monsters, so you have a possible way to search for Block Dragon and bait a card with Needle Fiber, so you're playing through 2 hand traps just with 2 cards without normal summoning, and you have a way to continue. Researcher is just like the best one out of all of them because it's the freest, it's the easiest summoning condition to like resolve. Obviously you're not going to play any less, but we don't play the bad ones that aren't Earths or Block Dragons because we like to go Burr on our opponent. And then for all my extenders, 3 die, 3 10-y. So these are like the normal ones. People play 6. I play Phantom Shade because I just want like an extra one. That was actually my 13th extender, not my 7th. I play 6 more. And the theory was with 13 cards, you have a 64% chance to draw 2 of them in a combination going first, which means that if you draw 2 of these together in 64% of your games, you're able to make Needle Fiber without normal summoning. So that means if you draw any of your Adamancipator tuners, you can Metal Marcher combo even through a hand trap. So it makes it that 64% of the time you're comboing through a hand trap guaranteed, not including the other 3 cards in your hand. I think that's really important. This card is very underrated because it chain blocks Needle Fiber, chain blocks Block Dragon. It like you can summon after you get Gamut on your normal summon. It's really important. Searches Guardian sometimes, like I was saying, with 64% of the time we don't normal summon. If you start with this as one of your extenders, you're able to search for Guardian and normal summon it, which is really important. Speaking of Guardian, 3 Guardian. So that's like I guess the primary normal summon in the deck besides Analyzer, because you want to protect your cards. And then the best one to hit off your Adamancipators, Doki. You don't want to open it, but you definitely want to hit it off one of your tuners throughout your turn, and then having Supplier at 3 makes it so you almost always have a discard in your hand. That's like all engine. I think that's 38 engine cards. And then, yeah, 38, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 like cards you don't want to draw. Like obviously like you never want to draw these, but it's fine if you draw them because you can still do Unique Carrier out of your hand and Needle Fiber out of your hand. This card's, it's an extender, so it's like the 14th one, but it's the worst extender since it requires you to already be playing. But if you hard open it, you just start Supply off of Block Dragon, it's the same thing. This isn't awful, it's a tuner, it's a level 4, so like worst case scenario, you normal summon and combo with it. And then 1 Taco Crusader, definitely a brick, but it's just in there to beat the Buster Lock going second. If you're able to open one of the 3 Dark Ruler. Hand traps don't do enough, so Dark Ruler or bust. I can break most boards if it's not the mirror match without any cards, just with a 6-card hand. I'll take my odds versus any board that's not the mirror. I just don't think any deck can like stand a chance, especially if you draw Block Dragon or any way to it. There are multiple extenders, so this is the only needed. Take a look, like this is the only card that you can't combo with in your deck. So if you're playing a deck of 37 cards that all of them can be used to combo, like the consistency is through the roof and you really shouldn't brick. It just makes it so every extender you have plays through an extra hand trap. And that's why I wanted to max out on them. So for the extra deck, Field Center, bring back Kamal, O-Line, Link Cross, tokens, easy. Then the Synchros, So, something weird, I still play Dragite. I respect Dragoon, I respect back row. End card's really strong. Like, versus control matchups, you kind of want to end in that instead of Savage and keep Savage in the X-Egg, because this applies pressure on the following turn as well. By just, if you go into main phase, then just use its effect. Your opponent has to respond there. If not, you can just start clearing cards, which is really important without committing to a summon, without using anything from your hand, any extra resources. The Dragite just forces interruptions, and then obviously Savage, so Buster Luck. I figured out a cool combo where you end like on these three every time with Buster Lock. So you're gonna have this, and then you have Boa on top. So you end something like this almost every hand, which is a really cool combo. And a lot of people don't leave this on. I think this is a great disruption to have that's not like a hard negate, because it interacts in a way that most cards don't in the graveyard, and this is a very graveyard centered format, so your appetite becomes really good in that aspect. Those are it for the synchros. You guys obviously saw these two from the links. These are obviously staple and rock, then needle fiber package, nightmares. No Phoenix because we don't respect back row decks and it's not an Earth. IP because IP into access code is dirty, especially if you have Block Dragon. Like, not being able to beat over this card, not being able to be destroyed by card effects, like, card just becomes insane being able to deal with multiple things. As you see, almost everything in the extra is a different attribute. Like, right here, you have all 6, and you summon all 6 turn 1, realistically. So, you'd be able to access code for 6, and I don't think any deck can do that as frequently as this deck. Really important. And the last link, Link Spider. It was cuter when I played 2 unexpected die targets, so I could go like die, make Link Spider, summon another one out of my hand. Now it's more used if you draw like bare bones, just 2 monsters into needle fiber. You need this to be able to do the full combo. But there are some cute situations going second where you have like your opponent give you an extra monster zone, where you can work off that extra monster zone, get your O-line token, turn it into Link Spider at the top, then use its effect to summon Trumpeteer to then either overlay into Granite, search your Block Dragon, or just use it to synchro. I think it's really important. As you guys see, no Dweller. I chose Dragite. It's the better water monster right now. Dragoon's more of an issue. Like, Dwellers win more. Like, I think the combo I'm doing is stronger than just ending Dweller, because sometimes it's just really bad versus those matchups. Side deck, Pankertops, Konami, put this card at 3. It balances combo decks, I swear. Best card in my side deck, obviously Driver. Then Gamma. I actually think this card sucks. Didn't side it in once. I don't want to hand trap my opponent. It's just like, we've gotten to that part in the format where hand trapping is just like no longer effective, where people have learned the decks to the point where you can interact once and they'll still be able to end on interruptions, so the rest of your hand has to be pure gas to beat it. So why don't you just play pure gas or pure board breaking cards to do it? So this card just never really sided in. Guardian's like a really big stopper. I don't want to get hit by Tactical Talons. Midfield Breaker, like there's just so many things that like interact weirdly with Gamma. And then just the Driver's the extra brick. It's just the only like impactful hand trap and the only like real hand trap that you can play versus like the Infernoble deck that overlaps. And I'll show that card at the end. 3 Lightning Storm, back row decks, evenly back row decks. But like this overlaps for the mirror match, interestingly enough. So like I side these 7, and then I main deck 3 Dark Ruler, and then I play Reboot for trap decks again, and then the other card that I play. But this is just overall going second. You always put it in mind. No deck is gonna have an out to mine. Games 2 and 3 versus a combo deck. So it's just really nice having it. Even if I'm going first, sometimes I put in mine, because if they can partially break my board, they can't kill me. Next turn I can just like activate mine and like win the game. I've had so many situations where I just normal summon Guardian, swing at Herald, activate mine, they Savage Negate, chain Guardian, and then the game just ends. Or just, if you open any combinations of these 10 with Dark Ruler or any combination of these 2, it breaks the mirror's board. So I just kind of never want to go first in fear with people realizing the fact that you can run 13, 14, 15 board breaker cards, and then your opponent can just draw 2 of them and break the board at like a 60-70% chance. Like, there's just no point in going first because you only have a 30% chance of winning. So people realize that, it's probably a good strategy. Once people realize that, probably have to go back to like a pointer and anti-spell, different things like that just to combat, and it'll just mean the format keeps evolving.
I love it, and we appreciate the super insightful mind of you, Ruben. Really appreciate the deck profile. Congrats on the strong finish. Hope to see you in a future tournament. Thanks again, man.
Hey everyone! If you're enjoying the coverage of the Pro Play Tour Online series, just remember, you can play in one yourself. Every Thursday you can enter our free weekly 64-player tournament with invites to the entire Top Cut. Every Saturday is our Weekend Championship, where you can enter a YCS-type event with 100% payout and even a cash payout option. The more players, the bigger the prizes. Can't commit time to play in our one-day events? We also host multiple 8-man pods daily, ready to fire on demand on your own schedule. All these events award invites to our free invite-only Players Championship with prizes supplied by our sponsors. For more information, visit ppgeventmanagement.com and come play with the pros.